What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and today got a couple fixes for the dually. I told you guys the next thing I thought you would see would be a cross member that we got to install, but actually we got another issue. So I'm going to grab the keys and we'll show you what one of them is, and I may be able to show you both of them. I don't know if it's dark enough under the hood. That's if we can even get past the first issue. So let's show you what's going on. I don't exactly know. I think I have an idea. Well, pretty sure I have an idea. See the lights on in here? Listen to this thing start. Well, that's not bad. Better than it has been doing. Okay. So anyway, the battery's dragging. Guys, it needs a battery. This battery's old. It's been sitting around, I'm sure. But I noticed the other day, when we put the electric fans on, I don't know if you guys can see that sparking right there. See it? We have a bad spark plug. Or wire, I mean. So let's shut it off so it doesn't get crazy hot. So in today's video, we are going to address that. We are going to put new plugs and plug wires in this thing. We are going to be doing a little upgrading of nicer stuff. I didn't really want to do this right now, but since I've got the parts and it's obviously misfiring, I don't know what that does. If you give it gas, it may straighten out, but I've noticed this thing has a little bit of a miss. So let's go over and see exactly what we're going to be putting on this thing. It really needs an oil change too, and I may start that process in this video, but guys, I want to put some seafoam in the oil, but then I want to drive it around for like probably 100, 200 miles before we drain the oil and put fresh oil in it. So I think for today, we'll just stick with trying to get the plugs out and seeing what they look like. And of course the plug wires while we're in there. Now, as far as plugs and plug wires go, look, the sky's the limit. There's a billion different options out there. This is just what I've had really good luck with, is the NGK stuff and MSD plug wires. I know this is a little more expensive than like your standard upgrade, but to me, guys, it's worth it. And I'll be listing all this stuff I'm using in the description, but I think we will start. I've got a battery over there too. I don't know if you guys saw that, the Optima. I actually bought that for the OBS back here, but I can use it in this truck. And like I said, this battery is toast. So we're gonna have to bite the bullet and use the Optima in this, which ultimately I'd rather have in something instead of just sitting over there just setting for now. But let's just pull all the plug wires off. It's relatively easy. I'm gonna try to get a light up here so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. My wife bought me this light, I think a couple Christmases ago. Comes in pretty handy for stuff like this. All right, to get these off, very simple. Pull on the bottom, or pull on the top. Oh, I say very simple. Oh, look at that. I didn't even touch that one yet. That's the one that was sparking. So obviously we had an issue there. I may have to get a pair of pliers to pull that off. Now I generally use the, oh my gosh, that one's just did the same thing. Holy smoke, I wonder if these are originals. Okay, well, that makes life a little more difficult. What do you get? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we definitely need a tune-up. Holy, I would really not like to use a pair of pliers on this one. I'm gonna have to get a pair of pliers and get the rest of these out. Let me tell you the luck that I'm having. First of all, every single one of them broke, but check this out. They're pulling apart with a pair of pliers on them because I can't really get my hand in there. I don't know, guys. This may be a little more work than I thought it was gonna be. Generally, a LS, especially in a truck, a swap for plugs and wires is like maybe an hour ordeal, but I'm having issues just getting the dadgum end off. I may have to replace my little metal boots. I'm gonna try to use those to pull. They must have glued them on there. Goodness gracious. Well, after pulling for about 2 minutes on this one, I got one off. Oh my gosh, I'm not looking forward to the one that's like behind that battery post. I may have to unbolt that. But yeah, guys, these have some age on them. Now I was curious. Now either somebody replaced them with originals, but these are Delphi's. I'm gonna guess, as brittle as they are, they're probably originals. That is insane. I'm a little in suspense on what our plugs are gonna look like if our plug wire's that bad. I'm almost completely worn out from just taking those out. I've still got the front one. Man, it's being a pain. But what's your thoughts on the spark plugs? Think they're gonna be like either super tight? Yeah, they're pretty snug. Think they'll be the originals though? I don't know. Golly, I sure hope not, but I mean, I don't know why you'd put an original set of plug wires back on unless, like I said, it could have been done before, and this thing's got some miles on it. Ooh, it's a fighter all the way out. Put a little anti-seize on this, that's for sure, when we're going back in. Let's see what we got. Come on. There's nothing left. Look at that. This thing might be off the charts fast. What plug is this? Oh, dude, those are originals. These are originals. Unbelievable. You know what this has me thinking? As bad as that plug is, and as bad as those wires are, what do you think the filter looks like? I bet it's disgusting. So I didn't really want to get into cleaning a bunch of stuff, but I just can't not clean stuff when I take it apart. So what I'm thinking, since I have all the plugs off, or all the plug wires off, and that one plug, I'm thinking I'm gonna just take the coil packs off and give them a once over as far as cleaning. It'll make it look better. It'll make me feel better about going back together. Now, I'm not gonna spend any time on the wiring harness and stuff like that. That's still gonna look like crap. But it'll give me an opportunity to take these off, set over in a chair, and kind of just get them cleaner than what they are. In order to do that, we gotta unplug some stuff here. Golly, this has been on here a long time, guys. So be careful. Some of your wires are probably pretty brittle, but we're gonna go through and unplug. I think we'll probably be okay there. I think if I open this loop, and I could just take the 10 millimeters out that hold the actual harness in place, and I think we'll be okay. We shouldn't have to unplug each coil until we're actually cleaning over there on the bench. Let me unclip this, get the 10s out, and we'll pull this out of the way. Now, remember how I said you don't have to pull the coil packs, like unplug them? Well, you don't, but it's gonna be way easier for me to clean them if I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the 10 millimeters out. That'll get the coil packs out of the way. Of course, we gotta unplug them as well, but it'll just give me a little more room to clean. And this part, I'm just using some simple green, a brush, and several towels because this is pretty gross. Let's take a quick look at just going over this one time with the brush compared to that. Definitely a difference. Okay, it's not necessary that you keep these in order. They're all the same, it doesn't matter. The wiring, however, you need to kind of keep it in order. You don't want to cross one, it'd be firing at the wrong time. But these guys you can put kind of wherever. I mean, I try to keep them, you know, obviously this was the farthest one on the right, I try to keep them in order, but like I said, it doesn't really matter there. I'm gonna go through, get all this knocked out, then work on the bracket. That'll be a little harder just because you got more involved, but these happen pretty quick. I cleaned this in like less than 2 minutes. So after just a quick little cleanup, what a difference, huh? Definitely looks better. So now I've got that one ready. Obviously I gotta do the other one, but I do need to go ahead and pull the remainder of the plugs out. I only took that one out. It looked terrible. But let me get the rest of the plugs out here, and then we will move on to our new plugs. Let's check out what we've got here. Look, there is like no electrode left on that. You see that? So those two are identical, but look, there's just a little bit of one left on that. Not much. That is absolutely insane. These have to be the original plugs. I can't even believe this thing ran. And it ran okay. Like I said, I might not be able to keep it on the road now. I noticed when we put the wheels on it, guys, they're heavy. And it made a big difference. So that's another reason why I wanted to do this. And then I just happened to hear it ticking and that was that spark was going everywhere. But you know, since the plug wires turned into dust, and these things are obviously original, let's open these up, check the gaps. They should come pre-gapped. I'm gonna double check. I think around 35 to 40 thousandths should be good, but I'll double check that. We'll get these open and get started on that part. So the new ones are actually about 35 thousandths, and it calls for 40. So I'm gonna put them all at 40. And then the next thing we need is some anti-seize. Got some anti-seize here, and so what I do is I'll just pull this up a little bit, the brush, and then just roll this around in it. Guys, it's a good idea. It's going in an aluminum head, and this will keep you from having issues if you ever change them down the road. Got all the spark plugs in on this side. Guys, don't force them in. They thread in very easily. This side's kind of coming in at an angle. The other side will come back at that opposite angle because it's basically the same head, just set on a different part of the motor. But got those on there, got them tightened down. Now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna clean up my bolts. I cleaned up the bolts that hold the coil packs on with my wire brush over there and my grinder. I'm gonna clean these up a little bit, and then we're gonna get those back on, and we're ready for the spark plugs on this side. Now, another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the 8mm out of this. I'm gonna give this a good cleanup. And the reason I'm doing that is because, well, I don't know, I just want to. But I am gonna take this off. We're gonna have to check the filter out here in a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and knock this side out. We're just gonna push the plug wires back on. I'll show them to you once we get this side completed. That looks quite a bit better, at least I think. Now on to the plug wires. Look, there's kind of a, do we use the metal boots or not? Now look, I destroyed the ones, pull them off. So these are extras that I had, I just kind of cleaned up. But the plug wires for the standard LS and the trucks with the truck coil packs sometimes are different, okay? So you need to be careful when you're ordering these. I'll list these in the description. These are the longer ones, but I want to show you here a standard, okay? So you can see how much of an issue we would have reaching to the coil pack. And I tried one of these and they do not reach. Now, they do make, there's a little extra on this, but there's not an in-between. So basically you get this or this. You're gonna have to have this for it to fit. Anyway, we're gonna use the boots. We're gonna put those on there. The cool thing about the MSD, now it doesn't matter because we're using manifolds, but down the road, if we ever get a header for this truck, these are bendable. So you can kind of, you know, negotiate which direction they go, which is kind of cool. But we're gonna go ahead and plug 4 of these suckers in, and I never put the labels on them, guys. There's little labels if you want to know this is coil pack 1357, since we're on the driver's side, or 2468 on the passenger. I don't necessarily care to have the little ring on there, but they will come inside. Let me see, I think it's down here in the bottom. I think it's more for the old school Chevys with the distributor. There it is. See what I'm talking about? You got labels. I don't see any sense in putting those on there. We have got that side complete. Looks way better. It's gotta run better. I don't see how it ran before. But anyway, you can see I took that 8mm off, took this off. Like I said, guys, I'm probably gonna do a little cleaning. I don't know if I'll clean this piece. Probably will. Definitely gonna clean the box because I have a feeling we're gonna have to get a filter for this sucker. I mean, if you don't change the plugs, chances are you're probably not gonna pop that open and look at the filter. So I'm gonna knock this other side out off camera. Same exact situation. The only difference being is to take the coil packs off on this side, you will have to loosen these out of their holster. But let me knock this side off camera. I'm assuming that the plug wires are going to be destroyed on this side as well, so it's going to take me ample amount of time to get them off. Now that we've got both sides accomplished, let's move on. I'm going to take this guy off here and we're going to unplug this guy. Maybe there's a lock in it. Actually, there may not be. I don't know. It's been a minute since I taken one of these off. I don't think there's a lock in this one, but maybe there is. Actually, there is a lock. Let's see if we can pop this lock up here. There we go. Now we should be able to unplug it. Now I'm gonna, like I said, take these two, probably gonna just I might take the Torx out that hold this guy in place and then just drag this all out as one unit. I don't think anything's hooked to it like it's supposed to be. So let's just do that. That way we can get it all out as one. Now, in order to get this guy off the T25, see, I ended up not taking it apart the way I told you I was going to, because it's just too hard to get it out from under this with all that. Okay, well, that's not telling us a lot yet, but okay, that's been changed, I think. I don't think that's original. What we do need to do though is we need to pop this guy out of here. Looks like it's had some mouse poop in there. And I'm gonna grab a new filter. I'm gonna clean this box up off camera. Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna take this box out. I've got my vacuum right here because I vacuumed off all the broken wire loom before I put that guy back on. So let's just vacuum this out real quick. I'll use my brush, kind of brush up some of the ugly stuff, and we'll grab a filter. Got the box cleaned out there. Got a new heavy duty air filter. I don't know what's heavy duty about it, but I generally use Wix when I'm not using an aftermarket filter. And then you can see that I've got this piece all cleaned up. And I just went over it a little bit with some chemical guys, and we're gonna get this thing back into place. Get the screws in there, and then, golly, I really don't want to clean this because I'm gonna be replacing it at some point, but I guess since it's off, I'll at least wipe down the intake cover. And then, guys, I want to go ahead and pour in some seafoam into the oil, and then we're going to move on to the battery. Definitely looking a lot better under here. So now that we got that attached, let's go over here with our 8mm, get this guy unhooked. And then there's a 13 that holds the battery actually down there in place. See if we can't get that out. We're going to stab this Optima in here and hopefully fix our issue with it making the dragging. Technically, guys, you should unhook your power first. I'm gonna have to have two hands, but then I'm gonna grab that 13 down there. If you can see that, it's covered by the wiring loom, but that's the release, and we'll lift this battery out. Got the old one out, the new one in. Got it cinched back down with the 13. So now, these are a little closer together, but we shouldn't have any issues here. Let's get these hooked up, and then I got my seafoam to pour in the oil. They're all cinched down, sturdy. Let's go grab the seafoam. Now, as far as seafoam in the oil, look, you're supposed to put 1 ounce of this for each ounce of oil, or each quart of oil that you have, okay? Do this at your own risk. I've done it several times. It helps clean out all the sludge and junk in the motor. Like I said, don't run it over 200 miles. That's what I'm gonna do here. But this is about 16 ounces. This truck takes about 6 quarts. So we're gonna use about 6 ounces of it. So I'm just gonna pour that in. I'm not measuring it, I'm just guessing, okay? And then the rest I'm gonna pour in the gas tank. Like I said, it does a good job of cleaning. You will see when we change the oil in this thing. It's not gonna be in this video, but it will be nasty. Now that we got all this accomplished, let's go start it, see if it even runs. May have a terrible miss, may not have got a plug wire on. Let's see. Oh, baby. Running smooth. Change engine oil. Yeah, we know. We need to do that. You'll notice that I have a service engine light on, and that's actually an O2 sensor that I'm going to be replacing soon as well. But man, it's running smooth. No more misfires or random sparks, I don't think. Let's check. Nope. Not on this side. I don't see any there either. I think it's going to run so much better now. I can't even believe those spark plugs. So I just backed it out of the garage so we could get a thumbnail, and guys, I can tell you for sure, I haven't even taken it down the road, and it runs so much better than what it did before. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the content on this thing. Like I said, we're gonna be changing the oil in a couple weeks based on the Well, I say a couple weeks. I'm going to be changing it as soon as I get 100 miles on this thing and get that seafoam out of there, some new oil, new filter. And I don't know if I'll show you guys that. Like I said, it also needs an oxygen sensor. We need to do something with that. If I don't show you guys that, that is the next thing I'm going to be doing. But we still need to get the cross member in place for the future drop on the front of this thing. So hopefully you guys, like I said, did enjoy this video. If you did, please, like always, go down there and smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down there, hit the subscribe. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every single time we drop a new video on this or anything else. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.